Hi, this is Stephen with Fairs Management Interactive, better known as Fairs MI. And this video is for pretty much our existing users of our Fairs MI tools because we've now released Fairs MI 2. We call it FMI 2. It's a new version of the planning tools. And so primarily I want to just run through the basic controls for our existing users so they can see some of the differences and some of the similarities. If you've happened upon this video and you've never tried out our tools, I think you'll still find it very interesting, but we will be having a getting started video and a how it works video for those that have never tried the tools. And if you've seen our videos before, you know it's very casual. I just try to do it as if I was speaking with you on a Zoom call or something like that. So I'm going to go through these tools real quick. On the left side, we have the tools that you would see in the original Fairs MI1. Obviously, there's several changes, but it operates just as simply. Along the top, we have a tool ribbon that are tools that you would see on any kind of software in terms of file, edit, view, things like that. You'll see that there are some zoom tools and things like that up here in the ribbon. And then on the right is your advanced controls where you can do some customizations with color and line and your font and your text and several other more advanced customization types of work that you may want to do. But pretty much if you stay in this area, you can operate the tools just as easy, if not more easily, than the original Fairs MI planning tools. So let's just get started. Here's your plan control. Should be very familiar to our users where you click the button here to expand the window. You've got your exhibit buildings would be in one category, and your outdoor areas, then typically there would be the all grounds and then divided up into sub areas for special use consideration. I think at this point it'd be good to show a little bit of navigation because we've got some shortcuts that really make it easier. You can zoom in and out here, and you can use the pan tools here, but if you will put your cursor over where you want to zoom, I'll do this courtyard here, and you hold your control key down and then use your mouse wheel and just roll it up and roll it back. And that's all it takes to zoom in and out. Now, if you hold your finger down on your right key of your mouse, you can just actively pan that way. And that's how that zoom control and pan works best with those two keyboard and mouse controls. Now, if you want to get back to your original page view, we've put it right here on the end, so it makes it very convenient, and you can click on that and it brings it back to the original view. So if we go ahead and go to our plan areas, and let's go ahead and choose a building just to make it more convenient to describe some of the layout tools we have. Another quick difference here is that you now are able to save your floor plans to your own device, so you can back them up as much as you want, put them up on the cloud, and maintain a collection of floor plans in the security of your own computer and your own networks. So to load this plan, I've already saved one, so I simply go to Files, Import from my device, and I pull up this plan I've already saved, and there it is. Now, you see here, now it's the entire pod, and so if you've worked with our tools before, you know that every layout is by definition a group of booths, and this is a pod. This is created with our pod controls that we'll get into next. So if I click, whoops, let me zoom in a little bit. I wanted to click on that upper booth at 219. There we go. So now we know that this booth is active, and any edits I make will be to this booth. But take a look at a couple things. Number one, it used to be a little bit difficult to get your booths aligned, but now it locks into place, so it just automatically aligns for you. Another thing is if you look at this little icon up here, it's a rotation icon. If you click on that, you can rotate just by sight, and you'll see that it does tell you what degrees it is. It reads it out as you're rotating. Now, if I want to delete this booth, all I have to do is hit the delete key on my keyboard. If I want to copy or paste it, I can do that, or I can use the single booth control tools to do that. And here's the single booth control right here, booth control. It changes the booth number or name, the size, and the rotation. And if I hit OK, it changes the booth I am working on. If I hit new, it makes a copy with the changes that I put in here. You'll also see that you can now put in titling or labeling of complex lettering here, and you can control the font this way. So if I was to edit this booth, I'm going to go ahead and make it registration, I guess. Now, because the text, let's see, for newcomers, I want to make it multi-line. Because the text kind of searches to try to do the best scaling for this, when I go ahead and hit OK, it's going to make it very small. And this is where your advanced control comes in. You just go over here to text and you increase it up a number, hit enter. Now that's a little bit too big, so I go ahead and hit 3, and that's about right. Now if I wanted to change the color, watch, I'm going to go ahead and change it to a dark color. Watch how it changes it to white, and to make sure that it contrasts. So we can delete booths. Whoops, and I did that by mistake. I'm going to hit Control Z, which is undo, and there it is back again. So you can always get it back. And the reason it deleted it was that you have to make sure that it's highlighting that one booth. So now I highlight that and I make it a 20 by 20. So this is kind of old news to you guys, but I just wanted to show you how that works and familiar. Now that's text font looks a little bit too big for me, so I go back to text. I go ahead and make it 4. Hit OK. This one resized when we were looking at it. I'm going to go ahead and change that to 4, and there it's good. Okay, so that's working with your pods. Let me show you one more thing about pods though, just to cover old territory. So pods start out to be able to create an organized group of booths. So in this case, we're going to have 10 booths in a row. It's going to be 10 by 10s. We're going to have 9 aisles. The width of the aisle is going to be 10 feet, and we're going to do a starting number of 100. Now here's all the choices I have for layouts. They're vertical and horizontal, and they're also serpentine. This one we've got checked here. I'm going to go ahead, and all I have to do is grab this square icon and drag into place, and there it is. Now I grab the whole pod and put it in better place. From there, of course, I will be deleting for door openings, things like that, and just making sure I have it. So that's the way the pod works, and we have more lessons on that, and when I do private learning sessions with you, we can teach you more about that. Let's go back to our original plan here. I'm going to go here and hit this on the end. So we've done the plan controls, we've done pod controls, we've done booth control. The next thing I want to show you is exhibitor data. This means I can click on any booth here, fill in the company name, the product, the description, and then when it's done, I hit OK and probably put a color code on it for whether it's food service, games, private sales, things like that. But when it's done, I'm going to click on this one. It shows you those colored booths tell me that they're sold and they're a different type of category. Now, at any given time, you can generate a report. All you do is click this and it generates an Excel spreadsheet for you. I'm going to go ahead and show you the spreadsheet, what one looks like. So when it generates a spreadsheet, it's the booth number, the company name, product, description, but what it also does is calculates and keeps track of the different size booths you have, your 20 by 20s, your 10 by 20s, and it generates a total area for each booth. Then it also separates out your sold booths and does a separate column for the square footage. So you can use your normal Excel tools to total these columns up and get your total inventory. You can integrate this with other information like you would any Excel spreadsheet, and you can do searches and all that sort of thing. Okay, now let's go on and look at icons. Icons, as you know, are any object that we can create for you, that you can dream up, that we replace these squares with various different objects, whether it's a picnic table, a set of bleachers, a symbol, a kiosk or tent of some sort, electrical symbols, utility symbols, even rides. But it's not limited to this list. If you click this Get Shapes, it opens up our website to our icon collection. And you'll see here at the top there's some banquet tables that are even have the chairs so that you can keep those in consideration for your layout. And we'll be adding each week to this collection. And what you simply do is you click on this and it downloads it to your computer, that collection. And I'll show you what it looks like here. So I downloaded the banquet table and it's right here. And if I want to add it to my planner, I simply grab it and grab it over to my planner here, and it slips it in between. So we have a second set of icons. So you can create a whole collection, and you can actually custom mix your icon collection. When we look at this, let me zoom in on this area where I created them. So the way I did this, you'll see it says round table 48 and then 13.33 feet is the outer dimension. That's the outer dimension with chairs. So I simply used my pod control and created this as a separate pod. And all I did was reset the dimensions, the 13.33, and then I use my stagger control right here. Let me see if I can do that on the other set. Just one second here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put 5 and 5. I'm going to go ahead and do a serpentine number. This icon here shows it going up one aisle and down the other. I'm going to do a little bit less separation because I know what I'm doing here, and I'm going to go ahead and put 13.33, 13.33, and again I'm going to grab this icon here and grab it into place. Now see, this time it made it like a regular convention layout, but what I want to do is make it like a banquet layout. So now this time I check stagger, and I drag it over. And it doesn't look like much now, but watch, when I go ahead and load my round table banquets into this planner, there it is. So if I was to grab all these booths and hit shift key and click this, there it is. And that's all it takes to set up your banquet booths. So I guess that's plenty to get started now. It went a little longer than I intended. Please follow up with a GoToMeeting learning session, and we can go over some of this information, but I just thought I'd go ahead and generate this and send it out just as an overview to those that are making the transition these days. Thanks so much.